always like when you see a guy, when a guy who gets paid to sack quarterbacks and then the quarterback comes in the room, then you say, hey, did you ever get that guy, Drew Brees? And then JJ said, yeah, I got him, my first sack ever. And then you can see Drew's face going, all right, okay. Like I lit you guys up for some touchdown passes, I'm sure. But Drew Brees joining us in studio. You remember that first sack that JJ had?
Yeah, I do. That was at our place back in, what was that? Was that 2011? Yeah, early in the season, about week 3. So, yeah, he got me. But we ended up coming back and beating him that game. And I remember they were making a big deal out of it this year when we went to their place, talking about that, and obviously that got him juiced up pretty good because I think he got me 2 more times at their place this year.
But when you have you ever really gotten, somebody gets you really good? Because you said you're elusive.
Yeah, I think in most cases they're just trying to get you down. They're just trying to get you on the ground just to complete the sack. It's not so much about how hard I can hit this guy or whatever, unless they get a free run at you. Usually it's the blitzers that are getting a free run at you, where they're just trying to get from point A to point B and hit you, to disrupt the timing of the route and that kind of thing. And that's when they're really trying to hit you. But I feel like JJ's just so, we'll go back through the scouting report, high motor, relentless, extremely powerful, strong. No, he's the most complete defensive lineman I've ever, seen, just in regards to his strength and power at the point, in the run game, and then the myriad of moves and counter moves that he has to get to the quarterback. I mean, and he plays all over the place, so he's such a multidimensional player.
But at that position, at quarterbacking, you're always looking for who's coming, right? You're trying to figure out who's coming and then how do I take advantage of it. And Kurt Warner said something interesting. This is a couple of years ago. He said, I welcomed a blitz because I know somebody's open.
Yeah.
And the timing of that. Do you welcome a blitz, and is that an advantage for you?
Yeah, it is, because it usually means one-on-one coverage outside, or it means that if it's some type of zone pressure, that there's holes in the defense. So then it is just a matter of being very decisive as to where you're throwing the ball. There's a timing element, but that's usually when big play opportunities are there, is when you're getting pressured.
When did Cam Newton learn to play the position? Or did you feel like there was more of a change of learning to play it instead of just being athletically gifted at the position? Do you see a difference?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him play games this year, obviously, where you just felt like it was the next level. He's always been extremely talented, and I think like any young player, you have your moments, right? And I think depending on the offense that you're running and that kind of thing, I mean, you're trying to get accustomed to, comfortable with, and good at the things that your offense is kind of built around. And yet, when you're able to beat people not only with this read option where you're handing the ball off, but then all of a sudden you're keeping it, and then all of a sudden you're pulling it back and then throwing the ball down the field, or just where I saw him this year execute so many times extremely well was just in a no-huddle situation where he's, getting things communicated at the line of scrimmage, just straight drop back in the shotgun, pushing the ball down the field, scoring points in critical situations. I mean, he had a phenomenal year.
You think this is Peyton's last game?
Yeah, I don't know, because there was talk of this 2 years ago. And I think during that Super Bowl run against Seattle. So, and here he had played 2 more years. I mean, I think it's up to Peyton. Peyton leaves this game when he wants to leave this game. It's not going to be because everyone's saying that he's done or it should be his last game. He can play as long as he wants to, and I think just his journey this season was obviously unlike any that we've seen, being sidelined with an injury for, 7 weeks or so, but then coming back and playing very well, in my opinion, here over the last 3 weeks. And you feel that team re-energized a bit. I think their defense has played extremely well all year long, but I think especially in these last 3 weeks, I think they get the feeling like, this is their time.
How often does your age come up now?
Oh, I get asked the question all the time. I just turned 37.
But at what point does age, because now it's Peyton is the 38-year-old Peyton Manning, and what's Brady, the 37-year-old Tom Brady? And
yeah, I think Peyton's 39 Tom's
now?
38,
yeah.
I'm 37.
So, but we start to introduce, that's part of your name now. It's the 37-year-old Drew Brees.
Right. Age is just a number. I mean, it's really how you feel, right? And I think mentally, I feel like I'm 25. I mean, I feel like there's nothing I can't do now that I couldn't do 15 years ago. I feel like there's still so much left to prove. I feel like we've gone through some tough seasons here over the last 2 years, but I feel like we're entering this period of time where we have the opportunity to make a run at it. We've got some great young players. Our locker room has great culture. We have the opportunity to build something really great here over the next 3 years. And it's going to take a lot of hard work.
Explain to me, it felt like Sean Payton was allowed to flirt with other teams at the end of the season, and then he came back.
Yeah, I don't know the.
But am I being fair to the situation to say it felt like the Saints said, "Let's see what we can get for you, and if you want to come back." I mean, this is what it felt from the outside looking in.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know. That might have been the perception. I don't know how much of that was reality. I think there was so much speculation going into the last 4 weeks of the season about his future, about my future, which is pretty standard at the end of a season, especially when it's a season in which you're not going to the playoffs, but there was no doubt in my mind that Sean Payton was coming back to be our head coach and that he's going to be our head coach for a while.
Are you going to retire a New Orleans Saint?
I hope so.
I mean,
Yeah, listen, that's
even
my
if you have to
my
restructure
plan.
your deal?
That's my plan. That's my expectation, is that I'm going to be there until I say that it's time to be done.
We have your draft profile. Do you want to read your draft profile after the break? Okay.
I'd love to.
I don't know if you will.
I love the direction we're going here.
All right. Yeah, we always skew negative here, Drew, just so you know. And we'll talk about why Drew is here with the FedEx Air and Ground NFL Player of the Year. We'll have that for you coming up. Also, when we saw Drew in New York, he got up on my desk and shouted from the mountaintops that he wanted his tight end back, a legendary moment.
And it worked.
And he did. Well, he came back, and then you traded
for a
him.
year.
Did you ever try to dress like Brady at the press conference?
Try to dress like him?
Yeah, like, collar popped up and,
Would you say he's a sharp dresser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's killed it.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess Giselle picks out his clothes for him, but
Yeah, he's got the look, so I guess he can do that. I tend to be a bit more conservative. My wife tries to buy things for me to get me to dress a little bit more fashionably, shall we say?
Do you have veto power?
Yeah, of course I do. But I try to appease that at times, and I wouldn't say she's ever make a fool of myself or anything, but I'm just a bit more conservative.
Okay, conservative.
Yeah.
What if she said, can you dress like Brady a little more?
Well, then that would bug me. Yeah. There's the let's branch out here a little bit, and then there's
Cam
dress like somebody else. I don't want to dress like somebody else, but because I'm going to dress like me. But
Cam kills it too. He
goes
a little colorful.
Listen, he can get away with stuff that most of us can't.
But do you have an outfit if you win and an outfit if you lose? Like, it seems like Brady, when he shows up and they lost, then he's more subdued.
Yeah.
There's no product in his hair, no nothing. I mean, he's just straight in. I got a press conference here. But he's winning. Okay. He's killing it. You don't have a winning.
So you've got the winning styling gel.
Yeah. And none.
And the losing
pomade.
Paste. Right? Okay. Yeah, I've got that.
During the commercial break, you brought up Doug Flutie, who I think is one of the more underrated players who's ever played this game. If you consider he stayed in the league for 20 years, Heisman Trophy winner, successful in the CFL. But the label of being too short, it's like coaches got nervous with Flutie and said, I don't know if I can turn my offense over to him.
Yeah.
Would he be more successful now with this spread offense and being able to, like, he was Russell Wilson before Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Without a doubt. He would love this day and age of football because I think people are more embracing and maybe getting away from the stereotypes of this is how a quarterback has to look. And if he doesn't look that way or have these certain measurables, then I'm not even giving him an opportunity. Because I think that was Doug's biggest thing. I mean, he was ahead of his time with the things that he was doing. And, maybe I'm biased because I played with Doug Flutie for 4 years, and he was very influential on my career. I saw that guy do things in San Diego when we were together that were just, it was mind-boggling. I mean, he was, in my opinion, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game who was not given the respect or maybe the opportunities that he should have. And you're right. If he was playing in this day and age with the spread offenses and the way he's able to scramble around and make plays and everything, I mean, everything that people cheer about now that a quarterback does, they were, they would get on him about, they would criticize him about in that day and age. Oh, he won't stand in the pocket. Oh, he's too short. He can't see and this and that. But his ability to find throwing lanes and make jump passes and just do freakish things, you'd sit back and just go, this guy is an unbelievable competitor too. I mean, his will to win was awesome.
Well, what was it, New York Super Bowl, when you didn't know if you were going to get Jimmy Graham back? You got up on the desk. You yelled that you loved you some Jimmy Graham and you wanted Jimmy Graham back. It's one of my favorite moments on this show because in fact, we're showing it right now.
Yes.
I'm asking you to do it, and then I'm going, there's no way Drew is going to get on the desk. Did Jimmy see you on the desk?
He did. He texted me immediately. So right as I think I even felt like the vibration in my pocket, like, that's my guy.
So before you'd even jump down off the desk, he'd already texted you.
Over here, yeah.
Do you want to read your draft profile, just some of the comments here?
No. What do you know?
Yeah, we just have it right there, McLovin. You're coming out of Purdue, and these are some of the things said about you. Now, granted, there were some positives, but
from scouts.
Yes, scouts, actual scouts.
Right. These are guys that know what they're talking about.
But these are unedited comments about Drew Brees.
So tends to sidearm his passes going deep. Okay. Lacks accuracy and touch on his long throws. Seems more comfortable in the short intermediate passing attack. Well, that's the whole design of the spread offense.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Does not possess the ideal height you look for in a pro passer.
There we go.
Oh, what?
There we go.
I didn't think that was coming. Though his ability to scan the field helps him compensate in this area. Okay, so I've got something to...
positive.
Yeah. Will improvise and run when the passing lanes are clogged, but tends to run through defenders rather than trying to avoid them to prevent unnecessary punishment. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, when you look, Dan, when you look like this, I mean, why just,
I get you and Cam Newton mixed up when you start to run.
Yeah. I mean, why try to juke the guy when you can truck him? You know what I'm saying? I mean, give the fans what they want to see,
You got any other ones in there? You got one at the bottom there? Is there? Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get crushed too much.
No, I didn't. It was just, the sidearm and lacks accuracy, and he's too short, and then he's just ultra physical and wants to truck people as opposed to juke them. That's always been my MO since I was a kid.
We actually are going to do this to Joe Montana, by the way.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to hear that one, too.
Yeah, he's coming up top of the hour, so we got the negative things said about Joe Montana.
Yeah.
He was too skinny. One said he's too cocky, won't be successful, doesn't have strong enough arm.
Well, see, the too cocky part. That's what I love about this, because I'm sure every guy who's coming here to read their draft report, like there's an egomaniac inside all of us. I mean, that's why I think we play the NFL game. I mean, you have to have that type of ego and confidence every time you step on the field, right? What did J.J. Watt say? I'm the baddest effing dude out here. You have to have that mentality.
Yes.
So I bet you every guy will read that and you'll laugh, but deep down we're all like, I want to show that
I
dude.
I can see it when you're reading it.
You got a little fire burning now. It's like I got something to prove.
I could see it in your face as you're reading it, as if you haven't already had a Hall of Fame career. You're like, I'll show that guy.
Right.
It's a long, long time ago. Yeah, Paul.
Drew's so competitive. You might remember this. We were at the ESPN Zone during Heisman Week, and there's all these games up there, and you guys are
throwing the football,
and you were playing Papa Shot, and you lost to someone like LaDainian Tomlinson or someone. You're like, no, we're going again.
Oh yeah, I absolutely remember that, because that was the most fun part of the whole deal. Was us going to the ESPN Zone or whatever, and just sitting there like for hours and hours, Papa Shot. And I think they had a football one too, but yeah, that was a blast.
It's always great to see you, Drew. Thank you for stopping by.